I would like to talk about the respiratory system for this week's reading. The main goal of the respiratory system is to breathe in air, retrieve the oxygen from it, and then be able to deliver it to the rest of the body. And this is done through inhaling and exhaling. The respiratory tract starts in the nose and oral cavity and goes down to the terminal bronchioles and eventually to the alveoli where gas exchange occurs. This system mainly contains epithelium and cartilage, but I do want to recognize the importance of the bigger muscles that are not in the respiratory tract but aid in expanding and contraction, and those are the intercostal muscles and the diaphragm. We start in the nasal cavity, and this contains pseudostratified ciliated columnar epithelium and a lot of goblet cells, and these help to regulate the temperature of the air and trap the incoming particles. It also has the olfactory mucosa, which helps us smell. Then we go into the larynx, which contains our vocal cords, and this same epithelium is still in the larynx, and it's also present in the trachea. The trachea is a flexible fibroelastic tube that allows it to expand and return to its shape as we breathe in the air. And it contains C-shaped rings of hyaline cartilage that help support the trachea and make sure that it does not collapse. It also contains the pseudostratified columnar cells. Then we get to the primary bronchus, which is the first separation of the trachea, and it is similar to that, but it's starting to lose the goblet cells and it increases content of elastin. And then as you go from the primary bronchus to secondary and all the way through the rest of the system, you start to develop more elastin, and then you can also develop Clara cells, which help make surfactant. Then, when we get to the terminal bronchiole, this is the smallest diameter, and it's getting closer to being involved in gas exchange. And this is where we divide into the respiratory bronchioles, which contain the alveoli. These contain cuboidal cells and a high number of Clara cells to make the surfactant, which is actually done by the type 2 pneumocytes, which are present within the alveoli. And these are squamous cells. The pneumocytes can be in two different types. Type 1 has high amounts of cytoplasm and a dense nuclei, while the type 2 is more round, and those produce the most amount of surfactant. Then, for the muddiest point for me, I think for this week was talking about the vascular system within the pulmonary system. I didn't know that there was the pulmonary circulation and the bronchial circulation. And so I found that to be interesting, that the pulmonary circulation is, I think, what's involved with oxygenating the blood for the rest of the body. And then the bronchial circulation is what provides the blood to the lungs because they need to be perfused with oxygen as well. So that was just a little summary about the respiratory system. And I found this one to be very interesting.